Hello, welcome to So, this isn't necessarily a part of the challenge, but this is day 31. I've called this day 31 because I began this challenge on December 19th, yes, of 2022. And I'm ending this challenge in January of 2023. And I'm like, there's 31 days in both months. So, and plus, I wanted to do a little extra. So even though it's a 30-day challenge, the 31 day, the 31st day of this challenge, it's not something that I've mentioned. And I wanted to give a little extra um, and for you to be able to utilize and put it in your toolkit, something to utilize moving forward. So, welcome to day 31. For those that are watching, thank you. Thank you. I hope some of my rambling made sense. When I was doing this, like I was like, I don't know if I want to do a 31 day, but I'm like, I should do it. And this is just more of a thank you. Just thank you for doing this and showing up for yourself. And I know some people will be like, but why would you thank me for doing this for me? And it's like, because that means that's one less person that needs to be able to feel. No, let me rephrase that. That's one less person that feels like they don't have a purpose in life. And if we could just one person at a time work on ourselves and realize the true brilliance in ourselves and even share this with other people, like that's less people in the world that's feeling lost and feeling unaware of yourself, but becoming more aware of yourself. Like this challenge is about becoming more aware, becoming more intentional with life, with living, just with experiencing and just realizing that everybody's not going to want to go through or do the things in which that you do. And there's true freedom in that. It's like, we were taught, especially if you grew up or lived in America, and I mean North America, if you've had that dynamic of Americanized society driven norms and not knowing yourself and just going by what everybody else did before them and just not really questioning things, but you're like, you know what, I'm going to start questioning things because things are not making sense. And when stuff don't make sense, I need to start questioning it. And I'm like, why doesn't it make sense? Like, why? What's going on? Like, the math ain't mathing. So when it ain't mathing, you better start making sure you are aware that it ain't mathing, and you don't want to be affiliated with something that just don't make sense because you make sense, you know. And just I kind of lost the train of thought, but regardless, I probably have figured out when I figured out. But anyway, so here's your bonus. As far as bonuses go, I didn't want to complete or make something that I didn't want it to be something that not advertised but like spoke too much on, because I'm playing with some ideas for something else. But this challenge will remain free for those that want to really pay attention to yourself and realize that sometimes we do need a little help and a little inspiration, even if it is in the form of watching videos. Sometimes we listen to people and they talk about, you need a mentor, you need a this, you need a that. And it is true. We do need people sometimes to help us be able to do the things in which that we need to do. But sometimes we don't always need to be in contact with those people. What if they're not around anymore? Then what? What if, they're going through their own life situations? Like, are we just going to sit and stay um still until that person is available, or are we just going to like do whatever we can to be able to move forward? So, and realize there's room for like people that speak about self-development, spirituality, anything. Like, it doesn't even have to be spirituality, but just like anything in terms of improving your life, your overall well-being. They go through things too, so it's like, yes, seek a mentor if you can. Maybe even apprentice with them if that's something that they're open to doing or they're doing. But it's not always necessary, and it may not be the route for everybody. And don't pressure yourself into thinking that that's what you definitely have to do because of what anybody else said. If that's something that doesn't call to you, don't do it. Um, Nothing wrong with paying gratitude and even telling the people that you've listened to or watched their stuff, like, thank you. Like, you've helped me in so many ways that I would need to at least have a half an hour worth of being able to speak about the things that your works have helped me be able to do, or push forward with, or just to be able to take action on things. So it's just, um, it's okay that if you seek a mentor, it's not someone that you speak into on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you just email them from time to time. Maybe whatever it is, like, um let that let's not have this idea to share that with you guys as well. Like, I don't actually, so I'm someone that likes to be alone, and I enjoy helping people. I enjoy it the feeling of helping someone, even if it's in the smallest way, just to know that I did it, and know that I made that person, not made it, but I helped that person in a way that they didn't realize that they would ever get or have, and gave them that feeling of feeling like, I'm not alone in this. It's so gratifying. And I do speak in a place of knowing what that means. I've never worked in a field as far as self development, but I've always been interested in it, and I've been paying attention to self development guides for some time now, maybe for about 3 4 years. So I'm still fairly new into this field. So regardless of that, um, um, with my old job description before I left, I used to work in the mental health field, and I might go and do a story time on that, speak about some of my interactions and some of the gifts and the things that I've received from people. And I'm not talking about monetary gifts. I never received money from any of the people that I've helped. I've never received any personal material objects, so that's not what I mean either. And what I mean by gifts, sometimes gifts don't come in the form of physical gifts. Sometimes it's just a nugget of information, or a nugget of knowledge, a nugget of insight, So that's what I'm talking about. And I've gained a lot of that when I've worked at that job. Now that, I've been doing my own reflecting on a lot of things that I've went through in my life as well. But moving on. I don't really like the idea of having anybody under me in terms of looking for me to give them what to do next in their life. And this is why I created this challenge. We need a world of thinkers. We need people to think. Um, we need more thinkers, more people that's going to think and realize that it's okay to think outside the box. Get outside the box because there's so much potential. And you're limited to the box for as long as you believe that the box is all that you have. But realize that there's more space outside the box. Um, we need more thinkers in the world. We need more people that are willing to take risk for themselves and for whatever their sole purpose is in this world. We need more of that. Um, and this was also to help me reignite and re-spark my imagination too, my potential in my life. So this was also, it was a gift to whomever wants to take the time to do this, but it was also for me to reignite my spark within me and realize that I have so much more potential than what I gave myself the knowledge of, or not even knowledge, but the appreciation, the realization that I have. Like, and I feel like a lot of us underestimate ourselves. And this is why I started reflecting on my own past experiences. Like, how did I used to show up at that job? Like, what did I used to do? And a few things I used to do was I used to be on time a lot. I used to be on time. I used to hardly ever call out, especially in the earlier days of me working there. I think I called out my first year of working at that job like 2 to 3 times in one year. And maybe that, and also like I completely forgot about vacation time that first year. And I was told to take vacation. And I was like, I don't really know. Like, like I didn't mind being there because I just didn't mind, and I didn't mind the clients there and just being there. But there was other things in which, but again, I said I might do a story time if that's something that if it feels right and if it's the right time, I'll address it and share it with you guys whenever that time comes. But anyway, moving on. So um as far as what's it called, your bonus. So I'm just looking. So I wanted to give some, I guess, a sense of roadmap on how to, how to excuse me, some tips on how to subtly become aware of yourself. So this challenge was about becoming aware of your routine and becoming aware of what it is that you spend in your time with, and becoming more intentional on where you are allocating your time, and becoming more aware of what it is that you're doing with your life, and and becoming more in charge of what it is that you're doing. So this is more of like a roadmap, and maybe it might become something more, it might not, it may just stay at this, but I wanted to give this as a thank you, just thank you for sticking it out. And I genuinely hope that this helps whoever it is that this reaches. Okay. So I'm just going to go through what it is that I have as far as how to create, no, not create, How, let me read it. How to subtly become aware of yourself. So I'm going to go down the list and read the descriptions within the list and wrap it up after that. Okay. So here are some tips on how to become aware of yourself. And this was something that was inspired based upon Earl Nightingale. So Earl Nightingale, look him up. He's on not Instagram. I'm about to say he's on Instagram. I think he's long since passed, but his works are definitely still on YouTube. They are. He was a mentor of, I think, Neville Goddard, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not Neville Goddard, it's Zig Zar. Let's read. Earl Nightingale was a mentor, I believe, for Jim Rohn. Zig something, I forgot his name. I can't remember his name. But there's many people that apprenticed for him, or he was their mentor, or just read his works. So this was based upon Earl Nightingale. So here are how you could become more aware of yourself. Like, so how to become aware, how to subtly become aware of yourself. So pay attention to your thoughts. So Earl Nightingale believed that our thoughts shaped our reality. Paying attention to your thoughts can help you become more aware of your thought patterns and how they impact your life. Observe your actions. Notice the actions you take on a daily basis and consider whether they align with your values and goals. This can help you become more aware of your behaviors and how they contribute to your overall well-being. Reflect on your feelings. Pay attention to your emotional state and consider what might be causing your feelings. This can help you become more aware of your emotional responses and how they influence your actions. Practice mindfulness. Engaging in mindfulness practices such as meditation, or journaling can help you become more aware of your present moment experiences and how they impact your overall well being. Seek self improvement. Make an effort to continually learn and grow. Can help you become more aware of your strengths and areas for improvement, and can help you make positive changes in your life. And lastly, find a mentor or a role model. Seeking guidance from a mentor or a role model who embodies the qualities you aspire can help you become more aware of your own potential and inspire you to make positive changes in your life. So, um, just a little something to reflect upon. Okay, so that was actually, I should have changed the screen. In essence, that was your surprise, your bonus, what I just read. So, um, I'll just give a very brief readback on that. I'm not going to read all of that again because you could just rewind that. But pay attention to your thoughts and how they shape your reality. Sometimes our thoughts are not our own. Observe this consciously, observe your actions, and consider whether they align with your values and goals. Reflect on your feelings and consider what might be causing them. Practice mindfulness, be more aware of your present moment experiences. Seek self improvement and continually learn and grow. And lastly, find a mentor or role model to inspire you and help you become more aware of your own potential. Okay, so this is all about becoming more aware of yourself and subtly become aware of yourself so you could start slowly implementing what needs fine tuning, what needs to be thrown out, what whatever it is, um, what needs improvement. what could stay where it is? Just, just a little tidying up so we could become more intentional, so we could be ourselves. Ultimately, this is just all about being ourselves and just strengthening what needs to be strengthened and eliminating what needs to be eliminated. So, and this was something that I thought about doing, potentially a visual roadmap. At the time of this recording, there isn't one, but there might be. Uh, but if there is, disregard what I just finished saying about there isn't one. But right as of right now, there isn't one. I'm thinking about doing something, creating it really, um, so I can add it. Um, but other than that, yeah, I think that's about it as far as this challenge goes. Um, so I did hint at there being an extra video, and I was laughing about it in the last video, the day 30, is because I didn't want to speak too quickly about it. I'm like, I don't know if I was, no, it wasn't that I didn't know I wanted to do it, but it was like, um, it was more like I just I wanted to keep the mysteriousness of it and to have it actually be a surprise bonus. Um, because it's like we all need to just become more aware of ourselves and just the small things. Um, and this isn't necessarily a competition of who knows their self the best. This is more, I don't think of things in competition terms. So there's a time and place for competition, but to live your life in constant competition is not a life, in my opinion, worth living, in that way. I think life is worth living, but it's not to be in constant competition mode. So, um, as long as we are working on ourselves and doing the things that we genuinely want to do in our lives, and just even if other people are doing something that's similar to us, at the end of the day, you can never be replicated in any shape or form. And for those that may be following you or cloning whatever it is that you're doing, let that be something that is just, people that want to clone what it is that you're doing, just realize that you're inspiring someone, and um it's okay, you know. It's okay for someone to clone and not necessarily steal what it is that you're doing, no. But if they're doing things that are very similar to what you do, but with their own twist, by all means, do it. Like if I inspired you to do it, I'm happy. At least it's going to reach someone. It reached you, so now to reach others. And I believe in paying homage. So um, pay homage when it's necessary. Whenever you are borrowing someone else's stuff or cloning or whatever. But as far as this challenge goes, I haven't seen anybody create a 30-day warrior ritual challenge. So I'm not saying I'm the first person, but I've never come across it online. Um, Maybe it's just something a part of other people's programs or something. I don't know. But I figured why not do this and let it be something that's free for anybody that wants to start doing something today for themselves. So, on that note, I hope this really helps. Leave comments, wherever comments are left, if whether it's in the space below, if this is on YouTube, if this is on another platform, leave it wherever that is. I hope that I got my message across and it was clear. It may not be as refined as some other people's, and I fought with myself with that, wanting to sound more, not established, but more, um, I guess established, or no, established is not a great word for that. Like more like put together, I guess established, whatever. Um, but like that's not really me. Like maybe like if I want to change those aspect of parts of myself, but I just rather I like listening to people that just they're truthful and they're themselves. Like they're not trying to sound like so refined and so polished. I don't want to sound polished. I want to sound as if what I sound today, which is me. Um, and that's all we can all really do. Like be inspired by others, but be yourself at the end of the day and express yourself in your own way, whatever that means. And that means paying attention to yourself until you realize what it is that you do and how you do it is yours. Um, Nothing wrong with cherry picking what other people are doing, but remix it until it's you. And I think definitely still pay homage to whoever it is that you utilize their stuff, but also just realize and just be like, these are just some of the things that I enjoyed from these people that I've listened to. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm just speaking. But I hope this definitely helps. And um, repeat this challenge as many times as you need to. Um, Whether you're repeating it or whether you're just going whichever day that you feel like you need to pay more attention to. This challenge isn't necessarily has to be done in the way that I said it. So maybe day one or two, you might prolong those days, or day three. Certain days you might prolong a little longer than others because it was a lot to digest at times. So I get that. So, but essentially, you want this to be something that you work on throughout a 30-day cycle. So let that be more on what it is that you do instead of focusing on exactly how it was essentially created. Work on it in the way that works for you, but set your goal for 30 days. Even if you don't get through this in 30 days, that's okay as long as you're working on it and you're making progress on yourself. But you know, just do the things that works for you. Um I can't say that stuff enough. Do what works for you. I just repeated it again, I know, but it's just too many people try to tell people how to do things over and over and over again. It's like, if that didn't work for you, it just didn't work. Figure out what works. It's okay to cherry pick and even remix things until it works for you. And if that does work for you, I hope you share it, um, because sometimes people need to see a different way of going about things because everything isn't necessarily the ways that certain people that's been in any industry is, like nothing goes based on what anybody just says just because they said it or just because they've been doing it for a long time. Anything could work for anybody based on if they're willing to put the time and dedication into doing it, and they just consistently do it until it works for them, and then they have their own validation of it. So anything will work for anybody as long as they're willing to put the time and dedication and actually put their self in a place of uncomfortability at times. So, all right. So I will speak to you all. Take care.